Hi beauties, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Today we're going to be talking about romanticizing your menstrual, period poverty, and also we're going to be talking about some maintenance and hygiene tips at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around. For centuries, the menstrual cycle has been demonized, it has been suppressed, it has been seen as taboo and even feared. It's been ignored, criticized, and downplayed as something that isn't important. My honest opinion is that we as a society and women in general should really work to stop perpetuating these negative taboos associated with the menstrual cycle and the period. We should stop cursing our own wombs and speaking down on our periods, because when we do, we continue to perpetuate the historical and generational curses placed upon our own wombs and reproduction cycles. My honest opinion is that we perpetuate this generational curse that honestly is throughout a lot of religions and many cultures by not speaking on the subject, not prioritizing ourselves as women who need a little bit of extra care, especially during that time of the month. And overall, I just want to bring awareness to the stigmas behind our menstrual cycles while also enhancing, embracing, and romanticizing the period as well, and why you should. So I'm really excited for this video. If you've ever heard women say like, oh, I hate my period, I hate being a woman, I hate feeling like this, I feel disgusting when it comes to their periods, when they're talking about the reproduction cycle and the things that we have to go through as women, it's not the most fun. But at the same time, I think that this kind of language does perpetuate and kind of gives an excuse for everyone to treat our period like a burden, including those who do not have a period. And it also kind of almost justifies the reason for corporate companies, especially those owned by men, to profit off of the suffering of a woman. Let's take into account that currently the US feminine hygiene market is worth $5 billion, just to put things into perspective. And the concept of romanticizing your cycle really just means focusing on and understanding your body enough, as well as the cycles that it goes through and how that affects your daily life. The idea of romanticism when it comes to anything really just means to make something more special or more appreciated than it is perceived to be by society. The truth is, our cycle is a source of immense power, health, and life, and I think that it should be treated as such. We should all start being a bit more concerned about the way our bodies are literally taxed within certain economic systems. I'm just here to put the bug in your ear and encourage you to prioritize yourself as a woman. And hopefully by the end of this video, you will understand that our period is really meant to be appreciated and not lived out as a burden. It's a shame that this is a reality in 2025, and the fact that these conversations are still seen as a bit taboo even today, but we're gonna be getting into it, so stick around to the end of this video, and also in the comments below, share your favorite feminine hygiene and habits that you practice during your menstrual cycle. Starting off with period poverty. According to UnitedNationsWomen.org, millions of women and girls worldwide still do not and cannot have access to menstrual hygiene products. They barely even have access to water and sanitation facilities in order to maintain their menstrual health and hygiene. Periods make them miss school, work, and negatively affect their health, and it should not be that way. If you or anyone you know are struggling with period poverty, refer to the description down below. There's going to be some organizations there, and it'll be a list of national organizations that actually help women and girls gain access to menstrual products and hygiene products as well. I got the idea to make this video as an extension of my feminine habits and hygiene video because we did get into some personal things there. And honestly, I just think that it's so important to have these conversations and to inform women and girls everywhere about the period, and let's talk about it, because There are girls who even go into their period and they know nothing of what to do, who to talk to, and then they're embarrassed of it. So honestly, hopefully if this video can just help one person, that's all I could ask for. I'm also here to emphasize how period and menstrual hygiene products should honestly be a fundamental right and not a privilege in any society, because we all go through it and it's something that none of us can help. But let's move on and talk about understanding the cycle. So for those who may be new to a period or may just not know in general, every month your body sheds the lining of your uterus and the menstrual blood flows out of your V, which is what we'll call it for the purpose of demonetization. But nevertheless, the process of your period is incredibly natural and essential to life itself. The word menstruation comes from the Latin word menses, which means month, which ties our cycles to the rhythm of nature and time. So when you think about it, your period is just as natural as the sun and the moon setting and rising every single day. Unfortunately, not all cultures have treated menstruation with the respect that it truly deserves. From ancient beliefs that menstrual blood is dangerous or even toxic to the point of being poisonous, to taboos that surround it today, we've been taught to view our cycles as something to hide or be ashamed of or embarrassed to talk about. Some cultures and religions, even to this day, still believe and uphold that when a woman is on her cycle, she's unclean, dirty, or can curse things around her, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's today still described as evil. It's described as being overly sexualized. It is used to over-sexualize even young girls who are not of age. And this association with negativity and harm mostly exists because of the cultural and religious bias and misunderstanding. There is literally nothing associated with our period, with our menstrual cycle, that involves death or destruction. And for centuries and for years, people go around telling young women and girls this, and they believe it. And honestly, it's crazy because it's so connected with life and renewal itself that you would think, why would someone want to stigmatize something that literally gives life? Why would you want to associate that with death? It's a great question to ask. Many women, especially those within male-dominated cultures, have internalized the shame surrounding menstruation. In some cultures, no matter even if she's a child, a daughter's menstruation is seen as a passing into womanhood, which is where language gets very specific. In some cultures, no matter if she's a child, if a girl goes through menstruation, she is now considered a woman. She is considered an adult, no matter her age. And this is where harmful language gets very specific. There is an association in some, if not most cultures, between your menstrual cycle and your loss of childhood. So as soon as you cross that threshold of having your menstrual cycle, all of a sudden you're a woman, and that is weaponized against young girls because now you're a woman and now you have to get married no matter if you're 10, 11, 12, and that's one of the most evil things in the world. Even some mothers may participate in this and agree with the rhetoric just because that's what they have been taught or that's what they believe, and they believe that they are keeping their daughters from a worser state. And this is due to societal pressure, fear, or just lack of education in general. If you believe in energy and if you believe in generational curses, you would understand why this is such a huge part of why women hate their periods. I hate being a woman. I hate feeling like this. I feel disgusting. All of these negative words that we kind of hurl at ourselves from the traumas that have been experienced in the past. Because you have to think of it like we are conditioned to dread and hate our periods and to believe that it's the bane of our existence. But if you can, just try to imagine if society as a whole and the world as a whole treated the period and the menstrual cycle differently. If we all had mandatory paid leave every month because our periods were respected that much, if it was just a general consensus that when a woman is on her period, you take care of her, you nurture her, you make sure you're not annoying her. If that was just a general consensus, if it was, cared about, if it was sacred, if it was taken seriously, if it was respected, we would probably all feel very different about that time of the month. We would feel very different. And if anything, the only thing that would be negatively associated with it is the pain that some of us experience. And in my opinion, feel free to disagree, but I think that our periods have been so closely associated with negativity because of jealousy, or fear. And because when you are jealous or you fear something, honestly, being jealous is a form of fear. And when you're jealous of something, you want to suppress it, you want to belittle it, and sometimes you even want to try to replicate it. And I think that's what we see within the society that we are in now, that people have been so jealous of the menstrual cycle because they can't understand it, so they fear it, and so they put these negative stigmas on it to make themselves feel better about the conclusions that they've come to about it. But I think the fact that women have this incredible life-giving energy is just something to celebrate. It's something to appreciate, and it's something to speak highly about. Our menstrual cycle is not just about bleeding, it's about energy. There are 4 phases: menstruation, the follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase. Each phase brings its own unique qualities. Think about how you feel when your cycle is out of sync and you don't know when your period is coming, you don't know what phase of the menstrual cycle you're in. It can feel really anxious. It can feel very anxiety inducing. You can feel stressed. It'll feel like you're just drained all the time, or sometimes, or back and forth. But ultimately, when your cycle is out of sync and you don't know what's going on, it honestly feels like you're losing a bit of your power. Just so you know, trauma can deeply affect your cycle and completely throw it off. It's normal for your period to shift after a stressful or traumatic event. Your body carries emotional, physical weight, and even that would show up in your cycle. Now, I'm not saying let your period run your life or anything, but I'm saying that it's something that communicates with you. It tells you how you're feeling. It tells you about your health. And it's your responsibility to be able to translate that energy and harness that energy and protect it in a way that means the most to you. For example, and my light just went out. It's okay, because it kind of looks a little bit better in the dark because of the sunset, but I have to hurry up and make this video because then I'm not going to be able to finish it. For example, in some cultures, menstruation is viewed as a rite of passage and a sacred time for reflection, growth, and connection. In an article titled, "How Do People Around the World Celebrate Periods?" the writer states that girls from the Amazonian Ticuna tribe, who are indigenous people who live in Brazil, Colombia, and Peru, spend 3 months to a year living in a private room in their family homes after they get their first period. And during this time, they actually learn the history of their tribe, study its music, and their beliefs from other members. So this tribe celebrates a girl's first period with a special time of learning and self-reflection. Similarly, Native American tribes celebrate this transition with the sunrise ceremony, making the moment with a feast and symbolic rituals. These celebrations honor the journey of womanhood, of girlhood, reminding us that our cycles are sacred and should be something that is worth celebrating, because it's more than just a transition into womanhood or about just bleeding. Our menstrual cycle is a profound marker of power and inevitable spiritual potential. I think our periods should be associated with beauty, love, life, even when it gets ugly. I know that for me, I get horrible PMS and I can be a little bit of a diva. I can be a little moody, but I'm never gonna say I'm mean, I'm angry, I'm harsh, I'm so rude, because I'm not gonna speak those things over myself because of my period. It's just a symptom of PMS. I don't want to associate myself with negativity just because of temporary emotions or feelings that I may have, not of any fault of my own or any fault of any traumatic event, but because of my period. Now, it doesn't excuse people to, if I'm upset or angry or anything, to ask me if I'm on my period and to assume that I'm on my period, that's why I'm acting that way. But I do let others know that if I am a bit moody or if I am a bit more tired, if I sleep in a little bit more than likely those are PMS symptoms. Especially, I think it's important to let other people know so that they don't judge you based off of the constant changes that you may have throughout your personal menstrual cycle, because everyone's is different. I know for some women, maybe body odor is a bit stronger. And, if you're not keeping track of your menstrual cycle, if you don't know anything about your menstrual cycle, you may think that you just have a BO that you can't get rid of, that comes up and leaves or stays, but it could just be that's a symptom of your menstrual cycle. Some women break out before their period and they have no idea why, so you go and rush to buy all these skincare products, but really you were just on your period, so you're having a little bit of a breakout. It's just embracing your period and really taking charge of that, downloading a tracker to track your symptoms and to track how you feel, to track the discharge you're having, whatever it is. If you're tracking it, you know exactly when it's coming, you know exactly what phase you're in, you know exactly how you may be feeling. If you're feeling a little bit more like you want to eat more, you don't have to question why, especially if it is because of your menstrual cycle. You can be a little bit kinder to yourself if you are able to identify what it is, why it is. With that being said, I do have some tips that I would suggest for you to take care of yourself during this time of the month. And with that, I do want to start off with the sponsor of today's video, Vibe. What if I told you that healing, better skin, and stress relief could come from a tiny wireless device? I've been trying out the Vibe by RESONAHEALTH, and it's unlike anything I've ever used. Vibe is a PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy device that works on a cellular level to boost healing, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation. It's not just for pain relief, it's a beauty and wellness essential that helps with skin, health, stress reduction, and even better sleep. I started using Vibe to help with my PMS symptoms, and within just a few sessions, I noticed that my migraines are not as intense, along with my cramping and bloating. And it's super simple to use. All you do is wear it or place it near the area that you want to target, your face, neck, shoulders, or even your gut, for digestion support. And sessions last 30 minutes. You can even use it daily with no downtime. It's perfect for self-care days. Just pair it with your skincare routine for an extra glow. Now, who is this for? Anyone, honestly. If you deal with inflammation, puffiness, or skin sensitivity, if you want a natural way to boost collagen and circulation, if you struggle with stress, anxiety, or poor sleep, even if you need muscle relaxation after workouts or long days. I love it because it's wireless and effortless. You can use it while doing skincare or unwinding. There's no harsh treatments, just natural healing energy. It is science-backed beauty and wellness tech. Athletes and professionals swear by PEMF, and it fits in your pocket. It's the ultimate self-care on the go. If you want to elevate your beauty and wellness routine with zero effort, check out Vibe. The link is in the description below to learn more. Just let me know in the comments how you would use it in your self-care routine. The next tip I would give is hip opening movement in order to help with cramping. So you can do Pilates, yoga, you can do dancing that involves the hips. So that would be twerking if you want to, that would be belly dancing if you want to. There's a lot of hip movement there. You can do bachata. Any dance that has a lot of hip movement, you can, just loosen up the hips a little bit more, and that definitely helps with cramping. I know I do Pilates, so that for sure helps me with cramping. And also for cramps, you can use a heating pad. A lot of people use heating pads. That's very common. You can link or tag whatever your favorite heating pad below. I actually don't have one, but I want to get one. But I want to get one that's good. Also, poopery. If you've never heard of it before, Google it. So good, because we do poo a little bit more during our periods, which is completely normal and fine. But, and especially if you have like a little bit of a stronger odor with your period, with your menstrual cycle, I know some women like deal with that. And so you just, spray the little poopery into the toilet before you go, and then everything smells like flowers. Isn't that like a beautiful way to romanticize your period? And it's not for anyone else. It's not for anyone else. It's for yourself if you're into that type of thing. You know what I mean? Because it's messy already. So if it smells good, then, maybe that's like better. I would also suggest dark chocolate as a craving. It's healthier for you than other snacks, but I like to get like a little rice cake and I'll put dark chocolate on it and I'll pop it in the oven, and then I'll put like strawberries on it with some honey, maybe flax seeds, something like that, just to make it a little bit more, tasty. And that's my favorite way to binge while I'm on my period, because I do get serious cravings. I know for sure, it's just a self-indicator. Like if I want to pick out on snacks and chips and candy and I just want it and I don't know why I want it, but I just want it, I know I'm probably going to be on my period soon, or I'm on my period or something like that. I'm trying to think of other things that I can recommend for you all. I would say, let's see, period. Oh, taking feminine wipes with you everywhere you go is a really good one too. Really, I prefer to do this whenever I can, just because when you're on your period, it gets messy. So especially if you like pads over tampons, it can get messy, and I would definitely suggest feminine wipes along with you, throughout changing your pads. That's all I have for suggestions. I really can't think of any off the top of my head. And this recording process has stressed me out so much. It's my first time recording, and I totally get why people get so stressed doing this. Oh gosh, like my lighting has shifted. I've tried to do this since 11 a.m. It's like 6 and it's getting dark. You guys can see my mood lighting even more now, which is nice because it's red. And yeah, like the door's probably open. I went and ate some chicken. I might have chicken in my teeth. I don't know. But I'm trying to get this together, y'all. This is my first time doing this video, and I think this is a good video to do I think it's a good video to do face to face like this, because you can see my expression, you can hear me, you can see me, and it's a good topic to talk about, so it kind of like distracts you from the fact that I'm on camera now. Okay, that's all I have for you for the video today. Hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed seeing my face on camera. I am so glad that you decided to join me today. Love it here. The Discord is open. If you need the link, you can refer to my community tab. You can go to the Patreon and join as a free member, and you'll be able to have access to that link. These links shouldn't expire, but if they do expire, just go to the Patreon, join the Patreon for free, and then message me for the link. I'll send it to you. And also, you can join the Patreon just as a Patreon member if you would like access to some exclusive videos that I've done in the past. A lot of my old videos are on there. There's some newer videos there with some really helpful information about finance, beauty, love, working, being yourself, confidence building. All of that is on the Patreon, but the Discord is a really nice place if you need advice about anything. There's so many women in there that are so sweet and so helpful. Community is so just genuine and nice and kind to each other. And also, what else? Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at itgirlzaire. I'll put that here, itgirlzaire. And yeah, that way you can see me upload daily content. I'm gonna try to do more like behind the scenes content and stuff like that. I have so many things that I have to update y'all on and talk about. I have so many different topics that I want to talk about because my life took a whole 360. This is like, none of this was planned. But I'm so grateful, and I'm really happy that I can finally be on camera, and I finally did it. I sucked it up and did it. And now it's just stuff like this. Like, the reason why I've been so MIA is because like I have been living life and life has been lifing. But the good thing is I've learned so much that I want to share with you all. And then just stuff like this, just stuff like sitting and recording and talking to the camera. This is stuff that I can do, get done myself, learn how to do it so that I can turn around and tell y'all. And that's really how I've been doing my videos, is just living life, turning around and telling y'all about it, about at least the things that I feel like I may know or be knowledgeable of. Whatever, I'm just yapping at this point. But yes, I'm like so happy that I'm on camera with y'all. But thank you so much. I think I'm done. Bye.